Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azir Mathani, as always.
Brilliant.
Oh, I'd gone so long without messing one up.
Hey, just keep
in.
it rolling. Keep it rolling,
going
guys.
in,
Let's
yeah.
go.
Take
Hey, that's me. That's okay. That's my part. Tony, you go.
What? Yeah, no.
You just gotta let me restart this.
Yeah.
Let me restart this.
Crap.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
He's had a rough weekend. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 442 podcast. I'm Azir Mathani, and as always, I am joined by the wonderful Tommy Sondi
Hello.
and the newly locked down Tony O.
Morning, boys. Yeah, I'd ask, how was your weekend? Kind of tough to top mine, but you know. Yeah, how's your weekend? Sure, let's start with that.
No. We're not
sorry,
starting
Tony.
with that, Tony.
Sorry.
It is all about your weekend.
Yeah. Well, okay. Guess I'll announce to the world that I am now. Well, I proposed on Saturday. She said yes. So, yeah. Guess I'm engaged. Yeah.
Guess,
Big congrats, man.
Yeah,
Big
huge,
congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. It was nice of Arsenal to win before, because would have been conflicting emotions.
Now, would that have
Yes.
delayed the engagement in any way if Arsenal had lost?
No, not delayed, but let's just say it's good that they won. Yeah. But,
You would have been a lot less happy in the pictures.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I actually smiled, man. It was crazy. Like,
This
It's
is
unreal.
Yeah.
The
This
amount
is
of
ju-
effort that I have to go through to get you to smile in a photo, and you did this all on your own.
All
Fantastic stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen Tony smile in a photo.
yeah.
When'd you get?
He's taking photos with you, Tommy.
Jeez. Anyways, Tony, well done. Congratulations.
Cheers, man. Cheers. But, yeah.
Way to steal the Premier League's thunder on opening weekend.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, we can turn our attentions to, our first game this year, if you're that desperate to dive in. Yeah.
You know what? One of these days, Man United won't be first on the running order for this podcast. Just one of these days. That's all I want.
If you say so.
But it's not this day.
Not this day, because Man United won, Brighton 2. Well, welcome to Manchester, Eric. Here's the size of the job you have.
Should we just wind Zara up and let him go at this point? Because,
I feel like it's.
go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say, I feel like you remember how rough it was for Zaire the last few weeks of the season there, where it's just like, same thing. There was really nothing worth talking about. Man, he's like, we're gonna be right back there, man. It's just sooner.
He did it to himself. He predicted United to finish top 4. This is what happens.
No. I said it at the time, and I stand by it. I predicted them to finish top 4 because both of your teams are pricks.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. How did the game stack up to your preseason performances? Was it everything you expected, is there, or?
Oh, it was not as nice as the preseason. Turns out when teams aren't playing their backups, it's a lot harder to play through them.
Yeah, I don't know. I looked at the lineup before the game. I'm just like, I don't understand how United are starting the season with this team. It's crazy. Like,
Well, it's a lot of the same old issues. Now, one thing was that there was no striker. We didn't have a striker to start the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think the system worked without the striker, because I think Christian Eriksen was playing as a false 9, but he's not a false 9. He's drifting back too much, and we looked a lot better when we moved him back into midfield in the second half and brought on Ronaldo. Martial being injured, unfortunate, can't do much about that. Ronaldo being a prick, Ronaldo's gonna Ronaldo. But it highlighted the lack of depth in the squad. It's the year of our Lord 2022, and McFred is still starting in midfield. astaghfirullah. What have I done to deserve this?
I mean,
What sins have I committed?
Fred got subbed up at halftime, right? Or was that at the
55th
start
minute or so. He was the first sub. And rightly so. You could have subbed off either one of them. They were both pretty bad.
I thought McTominay was worse, personally. He was pretty... Yeah. He should have been sent off twice.
I know. That one.
What was
that
the
one
second
challenge
one?
he had his studs on. Who was the studs on? I forget now, but he mistimed his pass
Caicedo, I
and then
think.
goes right into. Man, I don't know how McTominay. I don't know what he's doing in training. Like I know this guy based on his social media, he's a really fast runner. I think he ran like a 5K in 15 something, but beyond that, I honestly don't know how this guy gets in United, man.
It's
he's
because
terrible.
we need aggression in central midfield, and he's our only aggressive central midfielder. Except he can't channel that aggression properly.
Yeah. And you know what else? What else I saw? This one thing is what happened to finishing in this team? Bruno's freaking chance at top of the
that
box.
One guys it, man. Jesus.
What happened to this guy? Where's the simple finishes? You think either Rashford one that I'm sure you guys you saw that how bad has it gotten that you can't do simple finishes with these players? I just don't get it.
Big shout out to Mango the Beagle for getting me through this.
Yeah, I love that picture. How much of this is on Ten Hag as well, man? Because I don't know. I've always felt like United need a manager that can coach, right? And we know Ten Hag is a brilliant coach. We've seen it in his time at Ajax. It looks like he has no interest in fixing what's going on behind the scenes, or taking that on. And I just don't know if it can work if he doesn't do that.
I'm not throwing him under the bus after game week 1.
Yeah.
Same way that I shouldn't have gotten over the top on United's chances after last season's game week 1. I'm upset that they lost, but I'm also not setting everything on fire yet.
This isn't about the result. Throw away the result. Man United are not in a good state going into the say the game hadn't happened yet. This pursuit of De Jong, for instance, is surely it's driven by him. Otherwise, why else would you guys be going for? I mean, you're being linked now with Arnautovic. Not even linked. You guys bid for Arnautovic. 8 million. He's 33. He's 33 years old. Another link to Ten Hag. He's signing everyone from the Eredivisie. I get it. Your director of football is an idiot, right? Who is it? Is it Fletcher or Murdo? I don't even know.
It's Murtaugh.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just feels like... And then there's the whole Ronaldo situation where United put out a statement saying De Gea and Ronaldo were allowed to go home. And then he goes to Dutch media and says, actually, fuck that. Nobody said he can go home. He's just doing whatever he wants. I get that you want to attack culture, but then you're being divisive as well. And then he punishes Ronaldo by not starting him, but then he brings him off the bench when you're losing. Hey, look, I get it. It is just game 1, but he has to bear responsibility as well for some of the decisions that he's making, because this De Jong pursuit means you haven't signed anyone else, right, in that position. And a lot of good players have moved.
The state of the club is desperate right now. I don't know. It's going to be a long old season for me, but hey,
hold on.
Apparently that's great for our fucking content, isn't that?
Oh no, it is.
Another season of you two just draining my mental health.
I'll give you one more. So, David Ornstein reported that United are potentially working on a deal for Adrian Rabiot. Now, there's a panic buy if I ever saw one.
Rabiot. Of all the players that have moved in this window, you end up with Arnautovic and Rabiot. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that would be truly some pickup there. Desperate pickup, for sure.
All right, moving on. before I just leave. One week into the season, you can't be doing this to me already.
We're back. We're back,
Fulham
guys.
2, Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. Oh, let's up my mood a little bit. Big Mitro. Let's go, Big Mitro.
Oh, I love it.
Hey,
I love seeing
what
that.
was that? 43 goals in the championship last season? 2 out of 43 so far this season.
Yeah, he's on track for 76 goals this year.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hey, it's not gonna happen. But
No.
that
Hey! I will not be hearing Big Mitro slander on this podcast.
at first
It will happen. We believe in Mitro.
Okay. That first goal. I mean, look, Trent is the one fullback you want defending the far post if you're a striker. He's just useless in that position.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not a lot of players are gonna stop Mitrovic in that position. He monsters
in the
Trent.
air. He's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think Fulham. I mean, they were.
I think they surprised Liverpool. I think they surprised Liverpool with how aggressive they were.
You know what I think? Because unlike Mane, right? Luis Diaz doesn't make a lot of runs in behind. So when you push up against Liverpool, they only really had one outlet until they brought on Nunez. Because for like 15 minutes in that second half, they actually had Liverpool pinned back until Klopp went to that option and brought on Nunez. And I think within like a minute or two, they had someone else to exploit that space in behind. Nunez should have scored. For some reason, he decided not to shoot. But Liverpool got out of jail somehow. I don't understand the magic that Nunez had with that finish. I don't know what that is like.
I swear to God, Darwin Nunez is going to score 25 to 30 goals this season, and he's not going to know a single thing about any one of them.
Yeah. He had he had the same chance like 3 minutes before. Made a decent connection, but the keeper saved it. But the second one, it took about 5 minutes for the commentator to decide that he actually touched it. Which,
I will say,
it just cannoned back off the defender and then back off him. In fairness to Nunez, the runs he was making were great. He was getting himself into the positions. It's just between that and the assist, air quotations, if we can call it that just kind of, he tried to control it and it just bounced off him, and Salah was like, "Thank you, I'll take care of this from here."
And then he tries to pass it off like it was a layoff. It's like, no. That's a bad first touch. Relax.
Yeah, I will say though that I think this pretty much ends Firmino, man. Given that Darwin came in and had that effect after Firmino's poor first half. I just think like that's like, okay, Darwin, you're in. You're starting that from now on.
Hey,
I'm not sure.
Hey, Tommy. Tommy, would you say with Darwin coming on and Firmino fading away, would you say it's a bit of a evolution of Liverpool's front three?
Tony, what's your thoughts on that one?
That is a high quality Charles Darwin joke.
Yeah, it is high quality. I mean, it works if that's what you mean by high quality. But I'm not 100% sure. They play Crystal Palace next. I would be surprised if Nunez comes straight in, but you never know. He does have the physicality to match up against some other players, so yeah. But they're still missing Jota, right? Like, he's out.
Yeah.
Do we know how long he's out for? Because he's been.
I'm not even sure what's the injury with Jota.
You should probably have checked this beforehand. But
yeah,
this is 100% something we should have looked up.
Yeah, I will say though,
hamstring.
This game, hamstring. Okay, got you. I will say though, it was refreshing in this game to see just like an old school bullying striker out there with Mitrovic. Like even when he drew the penalty, he made Van Dijk. Not many people make Van Dijk look like. He's out of place.
He runs so slowly.
But
it's
he is
so much
slow.
fun to watch him dribble.
Yeah.
Like, compared to everyone else on the field, he moves so slowly, but it's very menacing. It's like one of those giant destroyer battleships, it turns very slowly, but once you're in the cannon's sights, you're fucked.
Tommy, because Zara and I had this conversation. Did you think that was a penalty?
I mean, we kind of glossed over in the United one. I forgot that one on
That was a penalty.
Welbeck. That was a penalty, right?
Why are we going back to
I
that?
just had to go because we've already had some bad.
Respect the running order.
We've already had some bad reffing decisions out here, and it's only week 1. And I was like, I would look at that one. So this one, just like, compared to that one, no, it's not. But I still think it is a penalty. Yeah.
The Mitchell one? Okay. I think he looks for the contact, initiates the contact, and goes down. But it's bad defending from Van Dijk. Not often you say that. He's caught square. But, as you were saying, Tommy, it's the return of the tall forward. That's been a running theme this season. It looks like City, they have theirs. Liverpool have theirs. Even Fulham are bringing out theirs, and they're all doing well. So, might be something to watch.
Do we wanna just quickly talk about the City game, because we just spoke about Liverpool? Tony, I believe you referred to Erling Haaland as the Terminator, and fucking terrifying.
Honestly,
we're all fucked, aren't we? We're screwed.
we are. Like, City just, like, in the first half, they're just passing the ball. Gundogan has that little turn at the top of the box, dagger ball. The touch from Haaland to round the keeper is excellent. And then, because, if he doesn't get brought down, he's tapping it into an empty net. But
why is he so fast?
I don't know,
He's so big, and he's so fast.
He's got a good touch as well. Good finish. Like, that second goal. Because I was watching it, I was thinking to myself, West Ham are actually pinning back City for once. Like, they're having a go. They're pushing, putting them under pressure. Oh, De Bruyne's got space. Oh, there's space in me. Oh, Haaland's in. Oh, yeah. Like, there's just never any doubt. When strikers run through, there's a chance. And then you're looking at Haaland's body language, and it's like, it's killer mentality, man.
You just know.
Bang. Right in the corner. Even the penalty. Like,
it's the way he, like, because he was running onto the ball. The ball was on his right when he was running onto it, and then he managed to shape it onto his left to finish. And the way he did that was,
his strike pattern.
From a Man United point of view, not ideal.
We were definitely saying at the start of the season, like, oh yeah, KDB, Haaland, they're gonna just like tear it apart. It's like, we now have the evidence. It's like that ball from KDB was so perfect to set up the chance for Haaland. Like, I can just see, like, these guys are going to be running riot every game, and Haaland's just making so many runs. Even in that game, so many runs behind the line. And once they start gelling, this team, and they start recognizing and getting the ball, like for example, someone like Grealish, he's not like, I'm going to pass it through first. He wants to keep the ball. But let's say he starts getting it and seeing, Haaland make those runs and giving it to him, man, they're going to be so deadly. And how did they get him? How is this allowed? How is City allowed to get Haaland? I hate this. Sucks. It's just too good.
Yeah, for £51 million. That's the release clause. Like, this is West Ham, they're not a shit team.
They're a decent team.
Yeah. They didn't have a kick on their own patch. It's like, man, whatever, man. Like, I said last week, that's not going to be a title challenge. Yeah, sure. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
What are we moving on to?
Palace 0, Arsenal 2. Great start to the season for Arsenal. Good win at a tough ground to go to. Brilliant first 25 minutes, I thought.
Yeah. Gabriel Jesus was running all over them first half. But if there's one thing this Arsenal team needs to learn how to do, it's to blitz teams. Like, take advantage of your periods when you're on top. They got one goal. In that first 25 minutes, they should have had 2 or 3. And, Paris, like you said, they're one of the, outside of the top 6, I think that's one of the hardest grounds to go to. and you want to take advantage of those periods. Martinelli missed an open goal after Jesus went past like 5 players. Odegaard has the Ozil gene where he just will not shoot if it's not perfect. But yeah, unlike last season where we got slapped at this ground 3-0, we actually had some defensive resilience this time. I'm really enjoying Ben White on the right as a right back. He's a good alternative to Tomiyasu. It's nice to not see Zaha laughing at Cedric. And, well, William Saliba, man. Yeah, I told you guys last season that you missed a trick not having him in your best U20s list.
Right.
Or U21 list. He's a special talent.
Oh, yeah.
Man, why was he on loan last season? I understand the season before, but last season he was very good when he was playing for, was it Marseille?
Yep, he was Young Player of the Year in France, which is no mean feat considering the talent of that league.
Did Arteta just not give him a shot? Is that what happened? Or
so
I think there was something going on, some controversy.
There's so many theories, right? There was a period where there was
baby, give me the spiciest theories.
Spiciest. Okay, Arteta hates Saliba. Arsenal have to pay Saint Etienne 10 million every time Saliba plays. All sorts of nonsense. Like, what I think is when Arteta first
10 million every time he plays.
Yeah. Look, I told you.
I can't believe that one. No.
Yeah. What I think happened is when Arteta first came in, Saliba was terrible. He was a child. He's 18. I mean, he's still a child, really, but he was 18 years old. He was really poor in the air in his first season, and Arteta felt he wasn't ready. Sent him out on loan, or wanted to send him out on loan, but because the backroom staff, they dropped the ball basically. They didn't concentrate. They messed up his loan. So his loan transfer didn't go through, but Arsenal had submitted their team squad. So Saliba was not registered for the Europa League, and there was some kind of falling out internally because of that. So the season after, they didn't want anything. They didn't want to wait. They didn't want anything. They sent him out on loan in January to Nice. He ended up getting in Team of the Year in France, in Ligue 1. And then the next season, before the transfer window is basically open, they've finalized a deal to Marseille. So, look, he's 21 years old. He's played a lot of football at his age. I'm just happy he's playing for us, man, because he might be our best center back already, which is saying something. So,
yeah. Definitely the star of that show for sure. And yeah, I agree. This guy looks like a real talent, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate, isn't it? On the Crystal Palace side, the big struggle for them will be replacing Conor Gallagher, who's now back at Chelsea after his loan. Sheikh Doucouré, I thought he played relatively well. Do you think he'll be able to step into Gallagher's boots?
I thought for a second you're gonna be like, they're having a big time replacing Christian Benteke. I thought for a second you're going that route. I'm like,
I should have.
Oh, it was so funny.
But basically, what I'm asking is, did Doucouré check all the boxes?
Good. There we go. That's a little bit better. I like that one better there. Zé.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to replace Gallagher, right? Because he had such a great season there with Palace, and I mean Palace has always been, I mean like Tony said, they won 3-0 here last year, right? They just always been like a strong defensive side. It's just really going to be about the goals for them, and can Doucouré supply that for midfield? I mean it's one game, we'll see. We can't jump the gun on whether he's going to be a star of that show or not, but yeah, I don't think they were terrible, Palace, right? You wouldn't say so?
I mean, if Eberechi Eze could have taken that one-on-one chance, it could have been a very different game.
Finish like a true Nigerian. Yeah. Don't worry, Nigerians know what I'm talking about. It's fine.
Don't depress yourself ahead of that World Cup.
Well, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's all good.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's a good thing Canada made it. You'll still have someone to root for.
Yeah. Probably for the best.
We'll move on. As Chelsea took a break from getting bullied in the transfer market by Barcelona to beat Everton 1-0. And for that pun, I'd like to thank friend of the pod, Oliver Lance. If anyone else has puns they'd like me to say on the podcast, please send them in. I will do my best to work them in.
Hey, round of applause for Oliver. That was a good pun. Really good pun.
But you applaud his puns, but not mine.
Yeah.
Showing us how it's done right there.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
This was the worst game of the weekend. Like I was falling asleep. Like I was trying to stay up and watch. It just kept falling asleep. It's like wow.
Hey, if
Two
this
teams, neither of whom have strikers.
Man, it's a penalty. It's like, how did Chelsea score? I just remembered it was a penalty.
Hey, it's Jorginho's going to be our top scorer this season. You just know it's going to happen.
Oh my god.
Hey, listen, I'll take the 3 points here. Like I think we got bailed out from Mendy making some great contribution and saves, and then Thiago Silva bailing us out whenever there was any danger.
You guys played 3 at the back, right?
Yeah.
How is Thiago Silva always back there by himself? What is going on?
It's okay. Yeah, you're right. What is going on? I feel like I think Koulibaly had a decent game out there for his debut. But yeah, no, Thiago Silva
he was that good.
Me neither.
I thought he was like average at best.
Well, I mean, like
Azpilicueta did not do very well.
They asked him. We gave him a 2-year deal.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Think about that back three. Thiago Silva's how old? 37, 38 now.
He's going to be 38 in next month.
Yeah, 38 now. Yeah.
No, next month.
Koulibaly's at least 30, 31.
Yeah.
And he's the youngest guy in your back line.
This is why we were after so many center backs. You know what I mean? Koundé, De Ligt, like we were after these guys. Nothing shut up. This is why we're about to spend 80 plus million for Fofana. Like it's gonna happen. Like we're gonna spend huge money on someone because we desperately need a center back. This is why when you got rid of Tomori, it was such a stupid idea because he's a perfect fit for this team.
Hey man, just play Malang Sarr.
And then you have Sarr, who he may
he's
be
on his way out. I think.
On his way out actually. So we won't be able to. But
I'm gonna miss him.
Listen,
he was good for the league.
Yeah, I'm not. No. Both teams here. We're talking about how the return of the striker here. You had Haaland, you had Nunez, you had Mitrovic all having good games. There was lack of a striker in this game here. Like Havertz, I believe that he has at his last 23 Premier League appearances, I think he has 2 goals.
Yep.
It's the Chelsea way.
He wasn't even playing up front. I don't know what Tuchel was doing. He was playing on the left.
Yeah, he had Sterling. Sterling,
and then he had Mount on the right. I'm like,
yeah,
that doesn't look right.
It doesn't work. It doesn't even work, honestly. Yeah. It worries me because Tuchel has not figured out his front line yet, and I don't know.
Everybody. He's selling everybody.
Timo is off back to.
Timo is off.
Now.
Yes, I heard about that. Actually, that's
Not enough noise is made about the fact that Chelsea essentially bought Lukaku and Timo Werner for about 150 million, and they're both walking out the door for free. That is nuts. Like,
well, is Werner?
No, they're getting like 25 for Timo.
Yeah.
Are they actually? Okay.
Yeah.
Because
what I saw. He has a few years left on the contract.
Okay. I saw.
But listen, Tony, you made a fair point on literally nothing. We spent all the money on nothing. And then out the door. Yeah, it's. Listen, we got the win, so I can celebrate that 3 points. I can take that, and hopefully we figure things out. Maybe like it just honestly, it's just there's what striker is there to buy for us?
It's too late.
It's just
you've waited too long.
Yeah, it's too late. There's not many people available. Like. Yeah, I mean,
you can challenge us for Marco Arnautovic.
Hey,
you did.
We'll get into a bidding war.
Aubameyang, you sent it right, Tony. You sent that out, remember?
Yeah, Aubameyang or
Cristiano.
Cristiano.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Cristiano.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Chelsea 100% will do some late panic buy for some player. It's gonna happen. Um, who that will be, I have no idea. But we desperately need. We can't be playing Havertz up top, false nine. Like play him as a number 10. Let him excel in a position where he's supposed to play. Maybe let's get some creativity in this team. Let's get Ziyech some. I don't know what he's got to do to get consistent time out here, but
Maybe you shouldn't have sold Tammy Abraham.
oh, you see, I mean, we just sell the guys who would be great right now in our team. Yeah.
If you guys get Aubameyang, by the way, that's gonna be fun for me. Cause like,
I'm going to enjoy that so much.
Yeah, Tony, how would you feel about Aubameyang?
oh, I'd love it.
You would love it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he would be shit. So I would love it. Man, you're talking.
He hasn't been that bad for Barca when he's played.
Okay, sign him.
Good, Tommy. Good.
Not to-
think this way.
Hey,
Please
not to say
think
that
this way.
I want to steer as
You-
far away from
dude,
him as we can.
You think Tuchel hates low touch strikers? Just wait till Aubameyang's in that team. It's gonna be great. Look, no, I don't know, man. Chelsea, it's clear they have no strategy. At least in the transfer market, the players you keep going for are so random that like, yeah, I just
Yeah.
feel for Sterling because he's a player I like and he's trying to do Sterling things in there and he's just looking lost. But hey, it's only one game and you won, so
It's only one game. Yeah, exactly. We won. Don't forget about that. We
Yeah.
won, guys. Come on.
against Everton, man. That's a big deal for this pod. Like,
Usually we drop points, so that's true.
Yeah, the teams of this podcast are just the Everton survival fund at this point.
yeah.
We'll move on to Spurs spanking Southampton 4-1. Dejan Kulusevski had a phenomenal game. Goal and an assist. Brilliant assist for Sessegnon's opener.
Yeah.
Or I guess equalizer, I should say. Just, they look good. They've started off the season strong. You know. Just saying.
You said equalizer. I just remembered the Ward-Prowse goal. Yeah, that was a brilliant technique on his finish. He bounced the shot into the ground and put it top corner. Bounced the top corner. It was actually brilliant.
He can
goal.
strike a ball. He can strike a ball.
It doesn't have to be
up
a set
there with
piece,
Just
yeah.
about anyone.
Dude should have played rugby, man. He'd be a fantastic kicker, honestly. The goal that sticks out in my head is Salisu's goal, man. What is he doing?
Oh my god.
You know-
One of the funniest own goals I've ever seen. He's trying to clear it and kicks it the wrong way. It's fucking hilarious.
Do you remember when Chelsea played Southampton like last spring? I think we
I
trounced
can
them.
already tell you, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
it
remember
was-
the score, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
Is that the one
Salisu
friend
had
that
a-
was running all over the place?
Yeah, Ruiner had a good game. Salisu had, I think, like maybe he had one own goal, but he had the torrid time. Oh man, this just reminded me like of that right there because he's always due for some sort of brain fart, man.
Southampton, man. We said it last pod. We didn't predict them to go down, but not good.
They should be involved in that relegation
Yep,
fight,
Yeah.
I think.
I think so. I think they're at least squad quality wise, they're up there. Especially now that they've lost Broha, they just devoid of quality. But
I mean, the one thing that stood out for me on the Spurs side was also when they did make subs to see out the game, they're bringing on the likes of Bissouma, the likes of Perisic, and you're like, there's some quality and experience on the bench now.
yeah, Spurs are shit. But don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not.
I want
Break
to
your-
believe
don't
Tony.
break your
I
neck
wanna
looking up
believe
the
Tony
table
here.
at them.
Yeah.
You're one to talk. Like,
Yeah, I know. My neck hurts.
okay.
Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Bournemouth, back in the Premier League, picking up a big 2-0 win against Aston Villa. And Tommy, let's talk
I
about
knew it
one of
was
the best
coming.
young
Here it
managers
is. Here
in the
it is.
world. Now, 28 games played, 10 won, 7 draws, 11 losses. Am I talking about Steven Gerrard at Aston Villa or Gary Neville at Valencia? Which, might I remind you, Gary Neville at Valencia is widely considered one of the most disastrous appointments of all time.
Yeah, not ideal, but you'd be saying both. That's how I'm gonna put my answer on.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. Let me, as a follow-up question, if you may, Tommy, Mr. Sunday, if I may. Why is one of the best young managers in world football sitting here with the same record as Gary fucking Neville?
I like to remind you, you gave that opinion. Like, we didn't ask for that. You just gave it randomly out of nowhere. It was so hilarious.
You know what? Sometimes Tommy likes to give us gifts, and we gladly accept those gifts.
Hey, sometimes you make mistakes.
Okay, and, we're at that point. Okay, because we're
hey,
alone.
listen, no. Oh no, we're not at that point. Listen, yeah, I'm giving him some more time. You know, first game of the new season with, you know, he's got some new players in there. Listen.
Okay, what about the previous 27 games?
If you want to come, listen. If you want to come, we'll come back after. You know, what's a good sample size?
Are we going to go 10 games again? 10 games again?
I don't think we need 10 games.
Sancho all over again?
You know what? You can 8 games.
Do we start Gerrard watch?
Yeah, Gerrard watch.
He might not be here in 8 games if we continue.
Give him 8 games, okay? And then let's see how this team responds then. And listen, I may have to backtrack on my comments. And you know what? It could just be the fact that Lampard...
This man went out and signed Diego Carlos from Sevilla.
Yep.
That's the worst possible defender he could sign if he wants to actually defend.
Yep.
I think he's... And you know, having Lampard in the league, maybe they're just competing again. You know, they're just competing for that spot. Unfortunately, the spot this time is who's the shittiest manager. You know, that's the problem.
So is this where I call for Michael Carrick to get a management job in the Premier League like he deserves?
Get him at United.
Should have gotten with England all that time ago.
United,
tell you what, he's been our best manager of the last year, so why not?
Yeah. That big draw against Chelsea is highlight.
No, he beat Arsenal.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did he?
Took points both of you.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in charge when we beat you.
I didn't remember that. Nice.
Good. Block it from your memory.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the last few games of the weekend. Newcastle beating Forest 2-0. Rough welcome back to the Premier League for Forest, but a couple of great goals from Newcastle.
Man, I'm loving Joelinton in midfield. He is just like a great driver of the ball. He's not hesitant to like take on players. He's fun to watch, man. This Newcastle team is gonna be fun to watch, I think. With everyone kind of just like, you know, they got goals from everywhere on the pitch, which is a very good indicator of a successful team. Like that Fabian Schär goal, I mean that's just brilliant, man. Right in the top corner from outside the box. And we were talking about strikers. And look at Callum Wilson, you know?
What a finish.
Unreal. Beautiful.
Outside of the foot, chipping the keeper from, 8 yards out?
Just brilliant.
Ridiculous.
Tell you what, if he stays fit, he has a chance, you know, going to the World Cup. I think
That's always been the big question with him, though. The injury record is so bad. He's so good when he plays. He got, 15 or so goals a season for Bournemouth when he was with them?
Yeah. And a ton more in the championship. So, one to watch. But he's a really good player, and he makes that team so much better when he's fit. So,
yeah,
there's a chance.
Yeah. We also have Leicester letting a 2-goal lead slip against Brentford. Final score 2-2 there. I mean, it's not the ideal start for Leicester. They were in the driver's seat, looking good. After what has been a very turbulent summer. I don't know if we mentioned it on the pod, but they have sold Kasper Schmeichel, their longtime captain.
They haven't signed anyone yet,
nope.
have they?
No signings.
Yeah, 0 signings. Yeah.
Now you talk about them potentially losing Fofana as well. There's talks about Newcastle trying to get Maddison.
Yeah, Tielemans as well is linked away. Might end up at United, who knows. The Schmeichel one is really random, man. Like, because they don't have a backup keeper of any quality. So, it's not like they're bringing one in. I don't know, man. It's like they've given up. It's like they've...
You know, you will say, though, like, Schmeichel, he has been on the decline.
He has. I agree.
Yeah.
And he's... How old is Schmeichel now?
He's
mean,
32.
He is like
no, he's older than
older
that.
than
He's
that.
like
Oh,
35,
okay.
maybe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's 35.
Which
He's gonna be
which
36.
Michael? I know he was going into the last year of his contract. He is on the decline, and I think he just wanted a new challenge at this point. He'd given his heart and soul for Leicester, and I think they just let him go.
Yeah, I think my point
But it
really
is
more...
it is weird that there's no replacement.
Exactly.
Like, I do agree with that.
Yeah, they don't link.
Yeah.
I mean, they were briefly linked with Leno, but they don't really seem like they want to do any business. It's strange, but okay. We did say Rodgers might walk, and if they sell all of his players, yeah.
I mean, if Chelsea come in with a 80+ mil bid for Fofana, why would they say no? You know, with that money, it's hard. It's hard. They did it with Maguire, right? It's like
You already came with 70, and they said no. So, yeah.
they just match the Maguire price and we sell. Maybe that's what it is. You know, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to turn down that kind of money for one defender.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
walked
Then we get to
straight
see
up.
we get to see Lord Farquaad back in defence.
Oh, yeah. That's not good. Was he even on the bench?
No idea.
Yeah.
But we do have one last game to quickly chat about, and that is Leeds picking up a 2-1 win against Wolves.
They look good.
Bit of a scrap between Bruno Lage and Jesse Marsh at the end. Love to see it. Love to see a couple of managers
Good
go
old
at it.
managerial scrap, man. I miss those. Back in the good old days of the Prem, you see that all the time.
So,
Patrick Bamford being back for Leeds is huge.
That is huge. Jose Sa didn't have his best game. I think he'll be really disappointed.
Oh,
with
that goal
first goal,
near
yeah.
Kawhi, that's terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to save that every
Yeah.
day of the week.
I can't remember. Was it a non-goal for the second?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a Bamford cross that came across, and I think Ait Nouri trying to get there ahead of I forget the Leeds player that was trying to get to it, Aronson.
Oh, right, yeah.
the
The
pass
thought
is on
Aronson
keeper.
scored, yeah. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, I mean, Wolves are typically a pretty tough outfit to score against. And gotta say, Leeds look decent. So, who knows?
Yeah,
maybe
good-
they
it's a
will be
good
fine.
sign.
Yeah, they made some good signings, like we said. They did lose their two best players, but all things considered, good start to the season, I think.
I mean, with all that, we did want to discuss something else today. Something that we wanted to touch on last week, but just kind of ran out of time. It's the development of women's football in England. Because, gentlemen, football came home. England are the women's European champions.
Yeah, congratulations to the Lionesses. Fabulous tournament. Yeah, I thought they played. I thought it was a really good tournament. I mean, other than Norway's disaster, which that whole country's approach to women's football is a bit strange considering the players they have. But yeah, no, I think it's a huge moment. Actually, I think it's England's first. I think it's their first success at international level, right? Like
Since 1966.
oh right, even for the men as well. Yeah,
Across,
exactly.
no, it's the first time England have won anything since 1966.
That's right. Yeah, and
And like 66, they did it in front of their own fans.
it was really
Against Germany at Wembley.
Wow, what parallels.
In extra time.
It's different scoreline,
He's-
but yeah,
Different scoreline. There's no hat trick this time, but I kind of like a 2-1 scoreline in a final more than a 4-1 anyway.
yeah. They dug deep in that final actually, because Germany were really. They scored basically at the times when it looked like Germany were gonna take the lead on both occasions. I mean, Toon's goal was really, really nice, the first one. But who was it that scored that back heel? Do you remember? The separate conversation, but do you remember who scored that back heel?
I want to say it was Alessia Russo.
Yeah, Alessia Russo, yeah, you're right.
The back heel in the semi-final is my favorite. Double Meg back heel in a European Championship semi-final. Like, if you look at the teams that England went through, they ran the gauntlet too, because they beat Spain, who was everyone's pick to win the tournament in the quarterfinals. They beat Sweden, a staple powerhouse of women's football, in the semi-finals. They destroyed them 4-0. And then they beat Germany, the team that's dominated European football on the women's side for the last, 15, 20 years in the final.
I definitely think home advantage played a big part in the last two games. Well, not the last two, the quarterfinals and it got them over the line, essentially. Two really difficult games against Spain and Germany. But, it's kind of... it's a crowning moment, I think, for a country that's finally starting to embrace women's football. It's strange for... football, England's supposed to be... I guess it is technically the home of football. But... the women's side of the game has been overlooked for years. I've kind of been following at least Arsenal women since, I don't know, maybe 2004, 2005. Basically, after the Invincibles, I went crazy about everything Arsenal. So I just paid attention to the academy a lot, paid attention to because it was more football, it was more Arsenal, right? And back then, Arsenal were pretty dominant in the women's game because they were the only team that put in any kind of investment in England. And even then, it wasn't a lot, but it brought about some success, leading them to the Champions League.
It was just more than any other club, right? Because a lot of major clubs just didn't have women's teams at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Back then, it was Birmingham, Arsenal, and Everton, really, that put in any kind of investment in the women's side. But in the last 10 years, you've seen Chelsea really start to invest in the women's side of it. They have their own separate training grounds. They now have access to a lot of the same facilities that the men's side of the game, the men's team have as well. Man City as well, they've come in really strong. They didn't have a great season last year, but in the past 5 years, they've become really strong. And we had Chelsea in the Champions League final 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and actually a lot of that England team now is, I think there's a sprinkle of Chelsea, quite a bit of Man City, sprinkle of Arsenal in there as well. So the England captain,
I'm not gonna let you overlook Toon and Russo playing for Man United.
and a sprinkle of Man United as well.
Thank you.
Hey.
Our women's team is actually consistently like top 4 quality.
Consistently is like 2 years. Well, I guess that's their existence.
Hey,
so,
I will take that.
Yeah.
I will take that consistency in my life.
Yeah. But yeah, it just showed, like, even a club like Man United, for a long time, they didn't invest in... They didn't have a women's team, right?
Man United and Liverpool both just didn't have women's teams until like 4 or 5 years ago. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something fairly recent.
Yeah.
Then they finally started putting that investment in. One thing that I saw was that the Brighton women are going to be playing at the Amex, the same stadium that the men play at, which is a good step forward. Because the women should also have their games at stadiums, not at training pitches and stuff like that. One person's contribution to this Euros win can't be overlooked, and that's Serena Weichmann, the coach of the England women. And it's a fucking travesty that Philip Neville was allowed anywhere near this team.
Yeah.
What's he ever done as a coach?
I don't know, man. Like, it was... England did okay under Phil Neville. It's just...
But that's because they had a base level of talent.
Exactly. You always felt like they could do a lot more. Could do a lot more with the talent that he had. But, Serena Weichmann, she's a legend in the game, right? Because I think... Did she get... I think Haaland won the Euros. Am I right in saying? Or did they make the final? Like,
they won last time around.
They won the Euros last time around. And then she made... Yeah, they made the final of... Was it the World Cup? Definitely with Holland, they were the highest ranking European team. I think they made the final. Again, should have checked this before. But
yes, they did make the final. They did make the final. They lost to the US.
yeah. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't off base. So yeah, that is the kind of appointment that a team like England should be making, getting the best in class, right? A team with a manager with an actual track record of success, and you could see that she managed to foster that same spirit in the England national team. Like, it's difficult with national team squads because not everyone plays, right? So you have to find a way of getting everyone involved. But yeah, no, I felt it was really positive. I felt because, I mean, looking at things from a grassroots level, you see how. I mean, we were talking earlier about when you consider how many clubs there are. Let's say in London alone, there may be 100 clubs for men, like to be able to play football in. Very rarely any clubs for young women to. Very rarely any leagues for young women to go and play. Like, that final happens, okay, you and I can go. I mean, we're in Canada, but if we were in the UK, we could go play a men's league 7-a-side, you know, like the men's league 11-a-side. That needs to be the legacy of this European Championship. Like, teams have to actually start paying attention, or the English FA have to start paying attention to grassroots football.
And you know what I really love is that the women playing on this England team recognize that needs to be the legacy. They put out a statement toward a written statement to Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, the two people currently squabbling over the prime ministership of the UK, saying that this is something that needs to be done. There needs to be more promotion of like grassroots level, getting girls involved in football at a young age, giving them the opportunities that the men have to play. So I think it's great that the England women are recognizing they're like, we have a chance to make an impact on how this country operates at the grassroots level in terms of football.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's been the one advantage teams like Canada and the US have had on basically a lot of European teams. Like, basically, the first team I ever coached in Canada was a U13 girls team. Like, it was just normal. It's just football, you know? So, yeah. England, I hope that happens. It's not going to happen overnight, but there was a lot of talk. I mean, high-profile ambassadors like Ian Wright, he was really passionate about the need for development as well. It's just something that can't go in the background, you know? Like, it's something that can't just die away. I'm sure they'll be at pains to try and continue that conversation when the league games come around. Arsenal have a few games at the Emirates this season. I think they're playing Tottenham very early on, so that should be fun. But yeah, all things considered, a positive step for English football, and there's a lot of investment opportunity, you know, like. Yep. Thinking cynically, like just from a financial standpoint, I'm surprised it's something that's been overlooked. If you're an early investor,
can't wait for the Saudis to buy an English women's club.
Okay,
that'll go well.
Okay, yeah.
Will that joke make the edit?
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will it get me in trouble? Maybe.
Yeah.
I guess with that being said, that's probably everything we had to cover for today while I go and hide.
Again.
Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 442. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for joining me, Tommy.
Lads, good to be here. Good conversation.
And congrats once again, Tony.
All right, yes.
Thanks, guys. I like Tommy's oh yeah but
he'd already forgotten about it, hadn't he?
Yeah, no. Thanks for the chat.
No.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tony, I would never forget about you. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.